What's up, guys? What's up? How are y'all doing? Give it a second, let you guys come in. Art, how you doing? How you doing? Appreciate you coming in. Make sure when you come in, you hit that thumbs up, you hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. We'll talk about that here in just a second. Let some people get in here. Want to do a little bit more of the talking about Vegas and stuff. As y'all can tell, I'm at home. I'm not at the casino tonight. Let some people get in here. So here's the deal with Vegas, guys. Okay, let's start out with Vegas first. Okay. The original plan on Vegas was I was going to go October 14th through the 17th. Well, they had to do some scans on me and everything, come back fine on that and everything. Everything worked out okay. They didn't want me flying until we got some results back, shit like that. So everything worked out all right in my favor. Got the word that I'm cleared to do whatever I want to do. So I was going to go ahead and book the Vegas thing for October 14th to the 17th. And then I'm like, well, GTE is the week before. So I want to go to let me just go to GTE the week before and do Tuesday through Friday. Hey, Vegas Gabe, how are you? Welcome in. So what I did is originally I booked that Tuesday to Friday at El Cortez, and I hadn't booked my flight yet at that time, and I'm like, well, let me stay an extra day or so in Vegas, and then my son told me, he's like, if you fly out Monday, Dad, your plane ticket is the same price as your plane ticket round trip is Tuesday to Friday from Monday to Friday. I'm like, okay, so I'll fly out Monday. I said, but I've already booked the El Cortez Tuesday through Friday. And I'm like, should I go in there and book the El Cortez another day? He's like, no, go ahead and book just a different spot. So that's why I went ahead and booked the D resort over by Fremont. If you guys are familiar with that, it's over by one of the stages over there. So that's how that came about. Okay. My schedule for Vegas is I'm going to do some lives. How's Sunflower Chick? How are you? I'm going to do some lives. I've got free play at the Palms. I've got comped rooms at the Palms. I got 2 comp nights at the Palms if I wanted to do that. But it's so far from downtown, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to stay closer to the Strip. And Justin, welcome in. Appreciate you. Tallies, how you doing? So I wanted to stay closer on the Strip. And rooms at the El Cortez, guys, are not expensive. They're like $38 a night. And resort fees are only like $26 a night. And if you stay in one of their smaller rooms, which is the Pavilion or the Cabana, they're only $50 incidental deposit per night versus the bigger rooms. And at the D Resort, it's only a $50 security deposit per night. And their room, normally, if I would have booked it last week, had I known anything was going to go on, I could have got the room for $25. But this time, I booked one night at the D it was $45. And then, of course, their resort fee is $39. So, I mean, you're not getting away from resort fees. That's just how it is. Don't let the prices scare you, Tallies. I mean, it's not as bad as you think. I mean, you think that staying at the El Cortez, being that close to Fremont, you're going to pay outrageous prices. But what I do is I book a lot of stuff through Expedia. And you can book directly through the El Cortez on the website and get 20% off. But I book so much through Expedia, my flights. I do a lot of flights. I do a lot of rooms. And normally I can get it for cheaper. Hey Jamal, how you doing? So I'm gonna do Monday through Friday. Now, will my live streams be all 100% gambling? No, I might do some strip stuff. And the reason why on the strip stuff is I might walk the strip a little bit, because when I went in March, I went for Slot Fiesta and I was pretty much confined to where I needed to stay at Resorts World or go to the Palms. I had to do that kind of stuff. Because that was an event that I was part of. So I needed to do that. And this last time I went, the whole reason I even went down there for the 2-day trip was originally to go down there and look for some apartments that I was possibly going to move into, which my family and my doctors kind of just like said, that's not happening. It's going to take too much of trying to get referrals of you to go down there. Hey, Ryder, I'm glad he loves me. And I'm glad he sent his son to die for our sins. Appreciate you coming in. But, so, will all my streams be me gambling? No. I didn't get to see the Bellagio fountain. I didn't get to see some of the stuff I got to see. And, guys, even though I was in Vegas this last time, I realized something. I know some of you guys might knock it and might say, well, there's trouble and there's this and this, that. I rode the Deuce Bus the last time I was there. I met Slot It Like It's Hot while I was down there. And when they go down there, they do the Deuce Bus when they do it because they get us a 3-day pass for like $20 each. And you can go all over Vegas. I mean, I can ride the Deuce Bus to the Palms. And so I want to see stuff like that. I want to do Fremont. I want to see the Bellagio fountains. I want to check out things, I don't want to just strictly, I want to adventure Las Vegas a little bit. Because the last 2 times I was down there, I was so confined that I didn't really get a chance to do that. And I'm really close to 2K subs. I'm going to do some lives here in Oklahoma until I get to Vegas. Because I'm like 70 away from 2K. And I want to hit 2K before I go to Vegas in October. I'll be there from October 6th to the 10th. And it's also the week of Granny Fest. If you guys don't know what Granny Fest is, if y'all never seen the channel Gambling Granny, every year she does an event down there on a Friday night at El Cortez, which I'm leaving Friday, so I won't be able to be part of it. She does a big event down there, and I knew it was always the week of GTE, and I'm like, well, that's GTE, so I reached out to someone. I'm like, is Granny Fest that week too? And I got that confirmation, and it is that week. And she also stays at the El Cortez, so more than likely I'm gonna be running into Granny and Dice. If you know who I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. They're the ones that does scratchers on Friday nights a lot of times. They also go live at the casino. She also hit a grand at the El Cortez on the original Flamin' Hot Pots a while back, like maybe a year or so ago. But, so I want to venture Las Vegas, that's what I want to do. I want to venture Las Vegas. Hang on a second. So I want to say something in chat right quick, make sure I didn't lose chat. Once he came in, okay, you're here, okay. Sometimes my chat freezes up on the cameras. Anyway, so I want to venture Vegas a little bit, guys, because I was so confined the last 2 times I was there. I mean, I pretty much stayed at Resorts World the whole time. I ventured out to, down to Harrah's and the Flamingo and stuff like that. I did that. And then I pretty much walked back to Resorts World. I finally ended up getting so hot that I had to stop and I had to ride the bus. I mean, I had the bus pass. I mean, I was just walking, looking around, because I didn't get to do that when I was there for Slot Fiesta in March. So yeah, I'm gonna do lives, but will it be like kind of like Froze lives where I might walk the strip a little bit? Sure, they might be. They might be. But there will be some gambling content too, and I want to meet up with Vegas Gabe. I'll be there for almost a freaking week. And my son's like, don't do a 2-day trip. Don't do a 3-day trip. Do 4 or 5 days. And I would stay there that Friday night too. But good God. I looked on websites for rooms that weekend, even on Expedia. So I'm assuming that the Raiders probably have a home game that weekend because, I mean, you're not getting a room for less than $200 or $300. And then you got your resort fees and then your security deposit on top of it. But, Art, if you're still in here, now I'm going to talk about the next thing. This past weekend, Pop had a date. I said I would do it on my live stream when I went live at the casino. I had a date this weekend. And it wasn't nothing like big or fancy or we went out to a steak dinner or nothing like that. We went fishing, guys. We went night fishing. We were out until like 1 o'clock in the morning night fishing at one of our local lakes. She drove down here to me. She's like, you want me to come down and hang out with you and us finally do a meetup? Because we've been talking a little bit. I started talking to her. Oh, I love to fish. I'm a cat fisherman. Here we don't have any oceans around us or nothing like that. So we catfish and bass fish and crappie fish and stuff like that. We even do a deal called noodling. And if you ever know what noodling is, it means you stick your hand in the hole and you pull out a catfish. And sometimes these catfish can weigh between 15 to 100 pounds. Yes, red flags, I do noodle. I don't noodle any. My kids won't let me noodle anymore because of I've had double hip replacement and I have that fucked up knee. So my kids don't let me do it anymore, but they all still do it. So now when I go, I just kind of watch them. But anyway, so we went fishing that night. We stayed out till like 1 o'clock in the morning, fished. We got back here and she's like, nothing, no hanky panky, no. I told her, I said, I want to take this extremely slow. We're getting to know each other. I don't want anything else more than just us talking. And she did sleep in the room with me. Yes, she did. She slept in the bedroom with me in the same bed, which was very strange for both of us because she hasn't been in a relationship in a while. And I haven't been in a relationship in well over a year. And I said, I want to take this extremely slow. And so that's what we're doing. We're taking this really, really slow. She loves the fish. I showed her some of my spots. Next time we meet up, we might go up to her area and see some of her spots she goes to. Hey, Benin, how you doing? But we had a great time, and there wasn't no, I wanted to keep it casual. I didn't want to make her feel uncomfortable. I said, if you don't feel comfortable with me in the room with you, I'll go sleep in my recliner. She's like, no, I trust you. We had a good time fishing. We were talking about things. We were talking about our kids. We were talking about we got on the subject of aliens. We didn't catch anything. We got a couple of bites. We didn't catch nothing. But I mean, we had a good, honest time. We didn't go have a fancy dinner or nothing. And we went fishing, guys. The perfect date. It was a perfect date. I had so much fun. I mean, you couldn't have done it any better. See, my idea of a first date is not a movie and a dinner. That's not my idea of a first date. Because number one, you don't get to know each other if you're going on a movie and a dinner. What are you gonna do while you're watching the movie? You don't get to know this person. So we went out on the dock and we went fishing and and we just chit chatted. We were talking about Bigfoot. We were talking about aliens. We were talking about whether or not we thought like the moon landing was real. Just cool stuff. Hey, Big Slaughter, how you doing? So I had fun on my date with this girl. And like I said, when I'm in Vegas in October, I want to do things other than just be at the casino. And then I found out, Gambling Granny's going to be there that week. So that's awesome. Um, and then my son told me, he's like, Dad, plane tickets are the same price as Monday as they are on Tuesday. And what makes it even better on Monday, see, if I'd have flew out Tuesday, I would have had a layover in Denver. But since I'm flying out on Monday, it's a nonstop flight from Oklahoma City to Vegas, which makes it even better. My flight back's nonstop anyway, but the flight there, that was the only difference is I had a layover. It was either Denver or Phoenix one. I don't remember which. But my kids are like, do an extra night. And I'm like, man, I've already booked the El Cortez for 3 nights. And they're like, well, book a different hotel. And I'm like, okay. So I started looking at the D, and if you guys don't know this, Big Slaughter, if you don't know this, the D's security deposit is only $50. The El Cortez's security deposit is only $50. Resort fees at El Cortez is $26. Resort fees at the D is only $39. And if you go over to Excalibur, Mandalay Bay, or all that, or over the Palms, for instance, it's $50 freaking dollars for resort fees and $100 a night deposit. But I got what's called the cabana or pavilion room over at Resorts World, which is they're small rooms, but it's a double bed. So if any of you slot channels are out there and you need a place to crash, I got double beds because all that second bed does is it holds my junk. It holds my clothes. That's all that second bed ever does. If y'all need a place to crash, if you go to El Cortez and and you don't want to like Uber back or whatever, you're welcome to crash on the second bed. I mean, I had no problem with that. Big Slaughter, Red Flag, you all know this. I've always been open about that. I want everybody to be safe because I don't drive. I don't drink and drive. I don't drink at all. This is my drink, water, and this is my other drink, Dr. Pepper. And I am damn sure for sure this time before I leave for Vegas, I promise you this, I'm buying cigarettes here before I leave for Las Vegas. Because when I was in Vegas, I paid $14.21 for a pack of cigarettes. And for a 1 liter bottle of Dr. Pepper was $6. And then at Resorts World, I had comps there, and I had to pay $6 and it took it off my comps for a 20-ounce bottle of Dr. Pepper. That's ridiculous. Yeah, 14.21. It was worse than that at Flamingo, Mega Mike. It was worse than that at Flamingo. At Flamingo, they had that little shop right there. I asked her how much the cigarettes were, and she told me they were $21. But here I can get a pack of cigarettes for $6 a piece. So basically, for that 1 pack of cigarettes I bought, I could have got 2 packs, almost 3. But I mean, now I'm gonna have to like walk to like a Walgreens or something and get me some Dr. Pepper because I understand that the casinos there don't serve Dr. Pepper, and I'll just keep them in my room. But yeah, I'm flying out Monday, and what makes it great was the ticket prices for the plane tickets were the same price. And guys, I'm like 70 subscribers away from 2K on my subs. And I'm going to do some live streams between now and before I go to Vegas from the casino at my local. They won't be high rolling live streams. They'll be low rolling, probably an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Hey, Happy, how are you doing? Hour and a half. I'm not I'm not out to, I'm just trying to get my subs up. And y'all seem to enjoy some of the stuff I do. I mean, I like going live for you guys. Um, One of these days, Mega Mike, you're gonna have to show me how to run this green screen where I can like put a background picture behind me. I tried to fuck with it earlier, but I went enlisted to do it, and it wouldn't let me put a picture behind it. So I don't know how to do all that crap. I know you know how to do it, but I mean, I'm just wanting to have a good time. I want to see Vegas, Vegas. I don't want to be just strictly at the casino the whole time. I want to walk around Fremont a little bit. I want to walk around, take the bus down to Harrah's and check out the link and check out, other stuff. I want to go, maybe check out the Luxor or something like that. And then I've got free play at the Palms. I could have stayed at the Palms, but they were still going to charge me the resort fee on top of the deposit, so I wouldn't, and I've got food credit there. I've got food credit at the Resorts World. I've got free play at Resorts World. I'm still going to go live. I won't go live anywhere I'm not able to go live at. So I need to reach out to El Cortez to see if I can go live. I'll have to talk to somebody about that because, the last time I was in El Cortez, I did do a couple of. They saw me with the camera filming, but I wasn't live. They didn't say nothing to me. But, and then I found out Gambling Granny and Dice are going to be down there while I'm down there. So it'd be cool to meet them, But then my date went great. No hanky panky, no nothing like that. It was all just in good fun. I don't figure they would. And I think on Wednesday nights, I think Jay Vegas goes live there. So there's possibly a chance I might be able to get to say hi to him. Because I'll already be at the El Cortez by then. But I wanted to do something. No, we did stay in the same bed. We want to take this extremely slow, Mike. She's 5 years younger than I am. I've asked the questions. Do you mind that I have kids and grandkids? That's not a problem with her. Toys R Us kids, welcome in. How you doing? Oh, everything come out all right. Toys R Us kids, everything came out fine. That's why I'm able to do this trip to Las Vegas. Everything came out fine. Appreciate the prayers, though. I told her, she said, do you want me to sleep in the room in here or you want me to sleep in another part of the house? I'm like, you can sleep in the same bed with me. I know how to keep my hands to myself. I'm not an 18-year-old guy looking for go to the bar and looking for a fucking booty call. I'm a 49-year-old grandfather with kids. And that's not, and I made that clear to her. That's not what I'm out for. I want to see where this goes. And she drove down here to me, guys. I told her, I said, why don't you drive down here and let's hang out and finally meet? And there's a chance she might come down this weekend. We don't know yet. Oh, it's not everything in the world, like I said, and she got the. When she showed up, I was watching my twin grandboys because my son was out fishing with his grandfather. So when she got here, he wasn't back yet, so she got to meet my twin grandsons that are just like a month old. And then so she got to meet my youngest son, the kid's dad, and then one of my middle kids come in. Of course, he came over to borrow a frying pan, so he didn't stay very long. She got to meet him for a second. So she's met two of my kids already. And she's cool with everything. I'm like, does it bother you that I have older kids? Does it bother you I'm a grandfather? She's like, no, that don't bother me at all. And I explained to her, a lot of you guys know my past and a lot of you guys know my background history. I have some health problems. If you guys ever see me in a live stream, I walk kind of hunched over. I have an autoimmune disease called ankylosing spondylitis. So we had a chit chat about that. You know, I explained to her what was going on with that situation. And she's like, well, so what we need to do is we need to keep you active. So this girl is like invested on like wanting to keep me active, wanting to keep me going like I'm going. Because, like Mega Mike said, he's like, Pop Pop, even in his state, he still wants to go to Vegas. Big Slaughter is sit there and watch me, you know. I don't care how tired I am, I don't care how weak I feel. I press on. I press on. And that's just how I am. I don't have a stopping point because if I slow down, that's when you give up. And hey Rob, the slots, how you doing? Welcome in, thank you. That's just how I am because I feel like if I slow down, I'm quitting. And I don't want to quit. And so that's just my push. And while I was in Vegas the last time, me and her had a chat on the phone. I let her know I was a slot channel. She's like, "What do you mean by that?" So I sent her a link to one of my channel. And then when she was here the other night, I put on one of my shorter lives. It was like an hour live, and I let her watch it. And she's like, "I love how you communicate with your chat. You're like very active with your chat. You explain what you're doing on the games. You explain the patterns on the games. You explain what the bonus is. I like how you communicate with your chat." Hey, Lindsay, how you doing? Okay, Lindsay, if you didn't hear my first date, we went fishing, Lindsay. We went fishing. No movie, no big dinner. We went fishing, and we stayed out till like 1 o'clock in the morning. I showed her a couple of my fishing spots. I mean, we had a good, honest, fun time. We were laughing, we were giggling. Guys, this beats what happened on the cruise. Mega Mike knows what I'm talking about. By 1,000%. I explained that situation to her. And she's like, "So was this better than what happened when you went on your cruise?" I said, "By 1,000%. I said, "I see potential in this." I said, "I see," and she's local, guys. She only lives like 2 hours from me. And the only difference is I'm an Oklahoma Sooner fan and she's an Oklahoma State fan. So there's a little bit of difference there. It's kind of like being a Dallas fan versus Denver fan. Mega Mike asked a question. Oh, I can't do a link because I'm already live. I would have to kill the live. I would have to kill the live and redo it. Or is there a way to redo it? Camouflage, oh. I didn't unhide her from my live yet, but I do think I blew up a little more than I should have. A lot of you guys know there's really one channel, really only one channel out there, or one person out there I really don't care for. Mega Mike knows who it is, and they pretty much know who they are, and they live in the Vegas area. So I mean that's the only channel I really have a problem with, and I'm hoping I don't end up seeing that person while I'm out there. If I do, I'm not gonna be a dick. You know, I'm not gonna do anything to get myself in no trouble. Yeah, I should have made this to where. Oh, Kel, there's a channel that something was brought up about some lives possibly being bought for this channel, or not live subscribers. And I said I heard the same thing. They screenshotted what I said, but didn't screenshot some of the other part of the live. And these people happened to film in the area I film at. And I went in their live and they're like, isn't this motherfucker that was talking shit about us about buying subs? And I said, I never said you bought them. I said I had heard the same thing. Had you gotten the whole conversation, you'd have seen what I said. So, hey Koza, how you doing? Grey Wolf, how you doing? Mike, next time I go live, I'll do a. I almost did it to where I did do a join because I was afraid this would possibly happen. Yeah, well, and then they sent a message to me because I made a little short saying, because the night they hit 5K subs, I said I would not have been trying to help you turn on your super chats if I was accusing you of doing something. Because me and another channel were in there trying to teach them how to turn on super chats, and they made a little comment on my little short that, hey, we don't want no problems. And since then, they've deleted their comment. So I don't know why they deleted their comment or whatever. I don't really care. It don't matter. I mean, I never accused anybody of buying subs. I don't care if anyone bought subs. I don't give two flying fucks. I didn't accuse them of doing it. But I did find out who it was that sent them the screenshots. So that's and I blew up on her a little harder than I should have, and I'm gonna eventually unhide her from my channel. Um, but I was really really heated because the night that they said something to me in that live chat, I was gonna physically drive down there and let them know that I didn't do nothing wrong, and my kids are like, "No, you're extremely hot right now. We don't need you 86th from being able to stream at Durant, and we don't need anything physical happening where they can't stream at Durant. So let's just not do that." They said, because you're so mad right now, Dad, we're not going to let you go down there and something happen where you can't go live anymore with the Choctaw Nation. So I cooled my jets and reached out, made it short. Oh well, they you had to have been in the live. Hey Brooke, how you doing? But yeah, when I'm in Vegas in October, man, there's gonna be tons of channels there, guys. It's GTE. Hey, I appreciate the super chat, Kel. Greatly appreciate it. Um, it's also the week of the GTE. I'm not buying tickets for it. I'm not spending $250 to go look at games that eventually I'm going to be able to play. Well, that's why I made it a little short. You know, I cooled my jets really quick. I cooled my jets really fast. I cooled down really quick, and it's just the way that it was said in the live is why I got so mad, because I didn't accuse anybody of anything. But anyway, that's the end of that conversation. Um, but I had a great weekend. I watched my grandkids. Um, and oh yeah, they're like, no, 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 no. They're My kids are all older. My kids are in their 20s. They're like, nope, we're not taking you down there. You're not doing this shit. You got filming rights all over throughout the Choctaw Nation. We're not fucking that up. So I know And I could be accusing the wrong person because in the screenshot I got, this wasn't the only person that sent it to her. Someone else said it too, so it could have been them. I'm gonna unhide her from my channel. Um, I was a little harsh with her, and I'll apologize. I'm not too proud to apologize to people. Um, I've had issues in the past with another channel, and I got on the live and apologized to him. Um, we don't ever see this person in lives anymore. I don't know why, but um, oh yeah, my kids ain't all about that. They knew that I needed to cool my jets. So, um, but Vegas, we're gonna be live in Vegas. We'll be live at the Palms. I'll be live at Resorts World. I'll walk the strip and do lives. Um, and if any of y'all have problems with me riding the Deuce bus, I'm sorry. But that was some funny shit. Let me tell you what happened when I was there this last time on the Deuce bus. So I'm riding in my hotel, right? This guy's on the phone with his exo lady screaming at her. Tell your boyfriend if he wants to come meet me, he can come meet me. And when he gets here, I'm going to beat his butt and blah, 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 blah. And his child's on this bus with us, and he is screaming at her at the top of his lungs. So, of course, the bus driver calls transit police. At the next stop, transit police gets on and says, "Is everything good, man? I just got to report that you're screaming at somebody." He's like, "Man, I'm just screaming at the phone at my baby's mama. She's acting stupid." Well, we get to the Harrah's stop, and the mother gets on the bus and grabs this kid that's hers, and her and him start bickering and fighting, and they start getting off the bus. This other guy's trying to calm them down, trying to tell them this isn't how you treat your kid, talk in front of your kids, and blah, blah, this, and blah, blah, that. And they get out, and then this dude that is screaming at his ex goes to fixing to take a blow at his ex, and the other dude that was trying to calm him down drops him to the ground and just beats the holy tarnation out of him. Well, I am trying to get my phone to where I can get onto my camera to record it, and everybody's standing in my way, so I can't do it. So I wish I would have got footage of it, because that would have been great for the channel. Oh yeah, my kids can be hot headed at sometimes too. Yeah, I was on the Deuce bus, man. I mean, it was number one. It was crazy, crazy packed on there, because I got on the bus. It was really close to rush hour. I mean, it was extremely. Hey, Stella, how you? It was extremely packed. Um, it was. There was like standing room only, and it was crazy. And this mother pulled up at Harrah's and got on the bus and got her kid, and a fight broke out right in front of Harrah's. It was some Jerry Springer shit. Let's put it that way. The rest of my trip was good, except for paying high prices for soda pop, and then I found out when I'm at the airport, well, you could have just walked next door to Walgreens and got a 6 pack of Dr. Pepper for like $4.50 instead of paying $6 for a 1 liter and $6 for a 20 ounce, which I didn't know. But I'm definitely taking cigarettes with me this time. I smoke the same brand of cigarettes that Hammy and Big Slaughter smoke, so I know I get them dirt cheap here. Um, oh, Stella, you went live earlier? I didn't know that. I didn't know you were live. Usually I get notifications if y'all are live. I didn't get a notification that you were live. Um, so I'll have to rewatch it. I didn't know you were live. I'm sorry. Um, but Oh, guys, I have tons of grandkids. My oldest granddaughter is 4. Um, I've got 8 grandchildren. Number nine's on the way. And when I say that being a grandparent is a different kind of love to your grandkids versus being a parent, that's telling the truth. It's a different type of love. Um, it's just a different type of love. It really is. I love my kids with all my heart. I love my grandkids with all my heart. It's just the difference between loving your grandchild and loving your kids. It's different. It's different. Um, um, how I went originally, I have 5 grandkids. Number 6 was on the way, but when me and the ex-wife were together, um, I don't talk about this a whole lot. One of her children was adopted out when she was younger. She was in her teens. They reconnected a little while back, um, and he's reconnected with everybody. And for 20 solid years, I helped her try to find this child. And he's been over here a few times, and they've made it clear to me that even though me and her's not together no more, that they want to still be part of my life, and they want their kids to be considered just like my grown grandchildren. So I really appreciate them being that way, because they don't have to be that way because I'm not married to her no more. Um, so for them to be open about it, and they've got 3 kids themselves, so I go from 5 to 8 grandkids. Um, and if you saw these kids, oh my God, they're I mean, they look their kids look a lot like my grandkids. Um, I mean, you can stand them side by side. You would you can tell they're related. Let's just put it that way. Um, but since he was legally adopted out, we couldn't do anything about that. Um, he started on a hunt trying to find us, and he eventually ended up finding her a little while back, and then he started meeting the other kids, because I had 2 kids that had never got to ever meet him before, because when he was taken, they weren't born yet. She was young. She was in her teens when this happened. Don't blame her, blame the system. She had a really bad situation with her ex-husband before me, and that's how all that developed. And I'm not going to go into details about that. Um, so, but I'm glad they got to reconnect. I've talked to them. I've told her I'm glad that they reconnected. I'm glad that he's back part of the siblings' lives. And then now what we're going to start doing possibly is we're going to, sometimes it's not always going to be me live at the casino. My son that's got the twins, which you guys seen him and chat a few times in some of my lives. My son Rebel, we're gonna start teaching. I'm gonna start teaching him how to do some lives, and we're gonna try to get him to where he's a little bit comfortable behind the camera, and he might start doing some lives on the pop sites for me if I'm like away somewhere on a date or something, and he wants to go, you know, and him run the channel. Um, so we're working on adding him as an authorized user of the channel, so that he can do it. Um, the only difference is you don't get a 49-year-old man, you get a almost 20-year-old kid. Because here in Oklahoma, you only got to be 18 to gamble. But he communicates with people very, very well. He did a video one night on one of the channels, and I uploaded it, and he did an amazing job. He communicated with chats like I do. He told you how the bonus worked. And he's watched me long enough. He knows what the fuck's going on. He watches my lives. He watches me do my lives. He watches how I do my lives. He knows what games I'll play. The only difference between me and him is on his lives. There's a chance you might see Planet Moolah because he loves that game. I don't know why, but he does. Oh yeah, it's Dr. Pepper. Yep, that's what I drink. I drink Dr. Pepper and water and Gatorade and stuff like that. And if Kenzie's in here, she'd... Oh, yeah. Yeah, that sucks when something like that happens, Ben, and I'm sorry you lost your dad at such a young age. Luckily, I had my dad until I was in my 30s. And before he passed, now my mom's still alive. She's not in the best of health. My mom's still alive, but she's not in the best of health. She likes to go gambling too. I like to take her gambling, and she loves to go gambling. She likes to plop in front of her machine, and I'll get her diet soda, and then an ashtray. And when she's ready to move, she can't walk very well, so we usually do a wheelchair with her. Yeah, my mom. I'm sorry that happened. Yeah, 14 years old, that's a horrible thing to go through. And then when my mom and dad split up when I was a teenager, I watched my siblings a lot because my mom worked so much. So I watched them. And then, but Vegas, baby, October 6th through the 10th. I'll be live, man. I don't know where I'll be live from. You may see me at the Palms. You may see me at Resorts World. You may see me at El Cortez. I don't know the filming permission deal at the D. Hell, you may see me on Fremont. Filming the bands or something. Or walking the Fremont deal. But I will do this. Here's what I will do while I'm in Vegas. If I am in Vegas, and if I hit a grand jackpot, the machine I hit a grand jackpot on, I am going to do a live. I'm going to see if they'll let me do a live where I go to a tattoo parlor and I'm going to get that tattoo on my arm. If I hit a grand jackpot. If I hit a grand jackpot on Dragon Link, whatever Dragon Link it is, I'll get a tattoo of that. Well, I might just have it say Dragon Link. I may not put the logo. But if I hit a grand jackpot on Phoenix Link, I might get a Phoenix Link. If I hit a grand jackpot on Flaming Hot Pots, whatever. If I hit a grand while I'm in Vegas, I'm going to get a tattoo. I'm going to see if they'll let me stream it while I do it. I've got 2 tattoos that I absolutely hate. I'm not proud of them at all. It happened one night when I drank. It was just a stupid deal. They looked like they were done by 4-year-olds. I was extremely drunk when it happened. I woke up really upset with myself about it, but I've always wanted to cover them up, just because they look so freaking stupid. And there's sometimes that when I go out, if I'm like in a public place, I'll put makeup over them so that nobody sees them. But I'm not a huge tattoo type person. I mean, they don't bother me, but I mean, I'm just not into them. I mean, so I'm not gonna get something done on my face or my neck. Oh, I came on here to talk about me going to Vegas, and then I'm going, and I was on here talking about my first date the other night with the girl. How you doing, Chris? Hope you're doing well. Um, I'll go live sometime this week for my local. It'll just be low rolling stuff. I want to get in some lives before I go to Vegas because I want to try to hit 2K subs before I get to Vegas in October. Oh, Chris, that's horrible to hear, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Art, that is not even in discussions. That would be so far down the road, it's not even funny. What you don't know about me, Art, is me and my first wife were together for 5 years before we ever got married. We were together 5 years before we ever got married. We were together a total of 21 years, but 5 years of that, we were just living together. Yeah, Chris, man, I hate to hear that. But yeah, Pantel, I went on a date. We went on a fishing trip. Nothing Spain, nothing fancy. No big dinner date. No dinner and a movie. None of that bullshit. I mean, we came back to the house. When we came back to the house, we threw it on Peacock and watched some stuff on Peacock, um, just to kind of relax after we both took showers and stuff after fishing, And then what? No hanky panky, nothing like that. I want to take this extremely slow. I want to work at a really slow pace. I don't want to rush anything. Um, you know, as a lot of you guys know, I've been single for well over a year. To have someone else in my bed was really strange because I sleep with a 4 pound dog. My dog literally weighs like 4 or 5 pounds. So that's who I sleep with at night, is my 4 pound dog. Um, so, and neither one of us got real good sleep because it was strange for her too. She's also not used to that kind of setting. Oh no, Paul M. Nothing fancy, man. We stayed out till like 1 o'clock in the morning, just fishing. We were catfishing. We didn't catch nothing. We got some bites. I showed her some spots that I fish at, and some spot. And I told her next time she come down this way, there was a river I wanted to take her to that I go to. Um, and that's kind of in the area where Blake Shelton lives. Um, I personally think that you can catch catfish better in rivers than you can lakes. Oh yes, we eat them. I also noodle, Chris. Well, I don't noodle anymore. The kids do. I don't noodle anymore. My kids won't let me do it because I had a double hip replacement and I got a fucked up knee, so they won't let me noodle anymore. Um, if you guys don't know what noodling is, you take your bare hand, you stick it in a hole, you let the catfish bite your arm, and you pull it, and then you grab the catfish and you bring it out. And depending on how deep the water is and how big the catfish is, you can literally have a 40-pound catfish drown you. So you don't ever do something like that alone. I'm letting you guys all know that now. If you do ever do noodling, don't ever go by yourself. Always have somebody with you. We've had people in this area that's noodled. Now we do it a little bit of a smarter way nowadays than when my ancestors did it, back when they did it. because I've got an uncle that had his thumb bit off by a beaver. Um, Now what we do, we wear gloves. Back then they didn't do that. They didn't wear the gloves, and they didn't do the way we do it now. Um, Now what we do is we put a glove on, and we have a stick about that long, and we put the stick in the hole. And when we put the stick in the hole, we feel for the fish and kind of feel around to see if there's one in there. Um, it's a little bit more of a safety precaution, because to have your thumb bit off by a beaver, you also got to worry about getting bit by a water moccasin too. Um, yeah, it is crazy, and I've seen. I mean, my boys, they do it. We're talking about next year. The granddaughters, they're 3 and 4. We're gonna, and then I've got grandsons that are 3 and 4, and we're gonna start teaching them how to do it. Because it's a tradition that needs to be kept alive. Because if you look it up, a lot of times if you look it up, if you can't find something on Noodling, look up hillbilly hand fishing. It's the same thing. Um, I grew up in the town that they do a big festival for this thing. Every year in June, Father's Day weekend, they do a big festival. It's called the Noodling Festival, where noodlers around the country come down and they do the noodling and stuff, and they bring them in. And I've seen them. I've seen the winner. His fish literally weighed 79 pounds. Um, Now, when they're that big, you don't want to skin them and eat them. No. Because a lot of times that means that they got a lot of eggs in them. Oh, I catch them by fishing pole. I use worms, and I use chicken liver. I use sometimes I use chicken breast. I'll take some. I'll take the breast, the boneless chicken breast, and I'll use some of it. I use catfish bait. Sometimes I use what's called stink bait, where you take a treble hook, you put it inside there, and you take a stick and you kind of move it sideways, and you kind of ball it up on there like a little gob. Hey, Mary, how are you? You've never been fishing? And then bass fishing is completely different. When we go bass fishing, usually we use lures. Um, you throw them out. If you know who Jimmy Houston is, you'll know what I'm talking about. Um, the bass fishing classic, where they throw the lures out and reel it in. We actually have a guy here in town where I live at. He's part of the bass fishing. Uh, I don't know, event where he has like sponsors and shit, and he does tournaments, and the best he's ever done in a tournament is third place. Um, his name is Luke Palmer. Um, he's from right here in the town I live in, and he drives a truck around that sponsors him and stuff. And if any of you older people in here know who I'm talking about, if you've ever followed a guy named Jimmy Houston, I've met him in person. Back when I was a truck driver, I actually got to help pave his driveway. He lives about 30 miles from me. He has a little spot out there. Hey, Soledad, how are you? Guys, it is so late here tonight. I was not expecting this many people in here this late at night. I appreciate y'all coming in. But guys, I am really close to 2,000 subs. I'm hoping to get there before I get to Vegas. If you missed any of the video, rewatch the video. I talked about my first date with the girl. I've never had a girl drive to me to come see me. I've always drove to them to go see them. And she drove down here and we went fishing. We had a good old-fashioned time. And it was so much fun. It was so fun. I had such a blast. And she woke up the next morning and she's like, I'm going to go ahead and head home. I got to pick one of my kids up, later on this afternoon. I want to get back and take a little bit of a nap. And then, and it was a 2-hour drive back. And I'm like, okay, and I just gave her a hug, before she left. Because I want to go extremely slow with this, guys. That's the key here. I'm not 18 years old. I'm not 21 years old. I'm not out to go to a bar to bring something home and bring something home that I'll catch. I'm not out for a booty call. Let's just put it that way, okay? I'm a grandfather. I'm a dad. I'm looking for the next person that wants to possibly settle down. And I possibly found that person. She knows I run a slot channel. She watched a little bit of one of my lives the other night. She said I'm good at what I do. She told me and she didn't really understand the YouTube thing, and I kind of explained it to her. She doesn't know I'm going to Vegas just yet. I haven't got to talk to her about that. I'll talk to her about it tomorrow. She had some things she had to take care of today, because we don't sit there and we don't smother each other. You went on a date once. Me and the girl met and drove 30 minutes to a movie. I spilled the popcorn. Oh, wow, Justin. That's crazy. I've been to the drive-in theater where they filmed that movie, The Outsiders, up in Tulsa. I've been to that drive-in theaters are still a thing here in Oklahoma, guys. I mean, you can find 2 or 3 of them around here. There's one in Oklahoma City. There's one not far from Oklahoma City. There's one in Tulsa. It's got double screens. That's where they filmed The Outsiders at. Justin, man, that's funny. You left her there? Oh, Justin, man, that's some crazy shit. No, I mean, y'all know, I talked a little bit about how the cruise went and how I met the person through social media and stuff. That wasn't going to go anywhere. We figured that out after, not pretty much on the way from Florida to Texas. It wasn't going to be a deal. Do I still speak to her? Yeah, I still speak to her. I talk to her about twice a month. When I let her know her part, because we thought something was going to take off out of that, and I let this other chick know about this. We thought something was going to take off after that, so I put this girl on my phone plan. So I just text her a couple of days before the phone bill's due and let her know her part's due. And so that's the only time we talk. We're not mad at each other. She thanked me for taking her on the cruise, stuff like that. But it just wasn't meant to be. But let me tell you a little funny story about this one. This one I'm talking to, I met on Facebook dating, and she sent me a link to her personal profile. So I started talking to her, and she said, since you're talking to me, yeah, we don't talk much about her around here. Even the kids have pretty much stopped talking to her, except she's still part of the phone plan. She still talks to my daughter every now and then. Once in a while, she'll speak to my daughter. But anyway, so when me and this girl I took on the date this last weekend, She sent me a couple messages. She said, let me ask you a question. She said, you're not a scammer, are you? Guess what I did? Boom. Facebook video call. She answers the phone. She got the biggest smile on her face. I had just gotten out of the shower. So I was in shorts, no shirt, hair still wet. And I'm like, do I look like I'm a scammer to you? And she just had this biggest grin on her face. She's like, oh my God, I was not expecting that. She's like, you wouldn't believe some of the shit I get on this Facebook dating app. I'm like, I go through the same thing. You get connected with someone. Guys, last week, because me and her's been talking, I put myself as been on a break on the Facebook dating app, which means I'm not supposed to be getting messages. And I looked at my Facebook one day and I had a little heart. There was a little thing on my heart lit up. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe there's an update. So I clicked it. It was a message from a girl from Louisiana. Guess what the message said? Never talked to this girl a day in my life. Never seen her. The message read this. Hey, how you doing? Do you mind if I move in with you today? And I just died laughing. Unmatched with her. Called the girl that I'm talking to let her know what was just said. Soledad, you're not 84 years old. Hey, Ethan, when you're a hacker, well, good luck on hacking the... I know you're just kidding. I think you've been in my lives before. Soledad, you're not turning 85 tomorrow. Shut up. Anyway, so I call her and let her know that I promised her I wouldn't shout out her name until we make it official that it's a guaranteed deal. No, I'm 49. I'm not 62. Until we're a for sure item. I told her that I talked about her a little bit on a previous live, but I told her I would not announce her name until... No, I don't think she can have kids anymore. I've never asked, but no, she's just 5 years younger than me. I haven't got, I haven't asked that. I haven't asked if she can have more kids. That's a good thing to bring up with her next time I talk to her, David. We haven't even physically done anything. But no, she... Oh, Soledad, you're cracking me up. I don't think I've ever had Soledad in one of my lives. No, she don't. She's made it clear to me that this channel, she wants me to be the one to be behind everything. She's not saying she won't go to the casino with me, but she don't want to be part of the channel. That's something she has expressed. She's made it clear that this is something she wants me to do. She's expressed to me she don't mind me going on the cruise with my brother in January. She don't mind me doing the Vegas trips. She knows that I have a lot of channels and subscribers. Guys, I have a lot of channels and subscribers' personal phone numbers in my phone. She knows that. She knows I have friends that are females that are like family that, not girlfriends, they're like sisters that I grew up with. Um, I mean, we're very open with each other. Um, I'm not going to talk a whole lot about her past. She's had a rough past. Um, in 2018, some bad stuff happened. I won't discuss what happened, but we're just lucky she's here. I'll just put it to you that way. Um, I'm not going to go any further than that because that's not my story to tell. If she ever wants to get on one of my lives and explain it, she's welcome to. When we're doing something like this, if I'm at home and she wants to get on a live with me, but she don't want to do the slot thing. No. No, the Gigi thing never worked out, Stella. This girl's local. She only lives like 2 hours from me. Um, no, Gigi lives in Florida. No, this is a completely different person. That didn't work out. That turned out to be a big flop. That I should have went on that cruise by myself. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, guys, I'm close to almost 2K subs. At 2K subs, a little over 2K subs, because I want it to build up a little bit between 2K and a half and 2100. I'll start a channel membership. I'm going to make it extremely low, guys. I'm not out to make a channel membership. I'll do exclusive 1 month I'll do an exclusive live once a month for channel members. I'll do channel member streams where kind of like Beer Belly does, where you get exclusive footage before the other YouTubers see it, and then I'll release it to where other people can see it. And I'm gonna make it cheap. I'm gonna make it somewhere between 99 cents to like $1.49. I mean, I'm not out to make a buck ton of money. I'm not going to charge people $4 or $5 to do it. Well, then how come you ain't went live yet, Soledad? Go live and it'll bring your subs up. That is the way to get you up. Because I mean, that is how you build your channels, by going live. I'm going to be straight up honest with you. Yeah, this girl's a local girl, Stella. She's local. Um, very, very sweet, very respectful. Um, the other night she was saying some stuff and she kept saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." I'm like, "Stop being so nice. Stop being so nice." You gotta, not be so sweet, not be so pleasant. Oh yeah, yeah. My ex-wife told me that piece of paper is just a piece of paper to her. Yeah, that's what she told me. I said no. I said in my books it means something. Oh, less than 60 subs. Okay, cool. And sooner or later, oh, Simon's in here. Simon, ain't seen you in forever. What's up, Simon? How are you? It's the Slot Machine. If you guys ever never seen It's the Slot Machine, she's an awesome channel to watch. She actually owns slot machines that she plays at her house. Um, she goes live sometimes. Simon, you live in Colorado, right? Yeah, guys, my live here's what I went through. Hey Nicole, how you? Here's what I went through on what I was gonna do once I got cleared from the doctor. Number one, I hadn't decided if I was gonna go to Vegas. There was a slight chance that I was gonna change it to where I went down because I have flights, junket flights, Mega Mike, like you call it, to where I could have went to Biloxi, and seen Beer Belly and all them, towards the end of October, which I could still do, if I wanted to, but I don't like flying out of Dallas. Dallas is a complete disaster to fly out of. I hate flying out of that airport. So, and then my other deal was there was a slight chance that I was possibly going to go to one of the Denver Bronco games because I'm a Bronco fan. And I was either going to come to Vegas and watch the Broncos play the Raiders, or I was going to go to Colorado and watch them play the Raiders. One or the two. Oh, Dallas is horrible. Simon, I used to be a truck driver. I was a truck driver for very many years. And anytime they would send me to Dallas, I would just cringe. Oh yeah, I was born in Colorado. Um, I wanted the original plan was I wanted to go up there to watch them play the Dallas Cowboys, but in order to buy tickets for that game, was I mean talking nosebleed sections to watch Denver play Dallas was like almost $1,000, and I'm talking nosebleed seats, guys. And I was going to be able to go watch them play the Raiders for like $150. So, and there was a chance that I could have just drove down to Houston to watch them play the Texans too, because I'm only like 5 hours from Houston, and I'm like, no, I want to see them play in Denver Stadium. I want to, that's on a bucket list. I want to see them play at Denver Broncos Stadium. I don't want to see them play somewhere else. Oh yeah, I was born in Denver, and we moved to Oklahoma when I was one. I got all kinds of different Bronco memorabilia. I've got a ball cap that came from Colorado. I've got shirts that's come from Colorado. I've got a signed Peyton Manning jersey. I used to have a signed John Elway jersey, and then in 2008 we lost our house to a house fire. So some of my Denver Bronco memorabilia stuff got destroyed in a house fire. My Elway jersey got destroyed. His rookie card got destroyed. I used to have a John Elway rookie card. Um, oh, you're from California? That's cool. I've been to California a few times. Oh, I love Dr. Pepper. Yeah. You keep seeing me pick up the can. I just haven't took a drink yet. But I drink a lot of water too. Oh no, Justin, usually I drink my Dr. Pepper straight out of a 2 liter bottle. Um, the reason why I have this can is the other night when my date came, I bought a 12 pack of Dr. Pepper to put in an ice chest. And I had a few cans left, so I'm just drinking them up. Yeah, we didn't lose it. The only animals we lost in the house fire was we lost fish. The ex-wife, when I was married, she had a fish tank and she lost her fish. Um, But we lost everything we owned, guys, in that house fire. What made it fucked up is we were 5 days from getting married. When this house fire happened, we had already bought the marriage license. We were 5 days from getting married. And everyone's like, are you going to cancel the wedding? Are you going to cancel the wedding? I'm like, no, we're not going to cancel the wedding. So we went the day before our wedding, we were moving into a new rental home. So we never got a honeymoon or any of that bullshit. Oh yeah, Stella, my local is only 15 miles from me. And I'm trying to get filming rights at a casino about 30 miles from me. Um, I've been talking to marketing and everything. Yeah, I did over the road trucking. I also did trucking for the oil field. Over the road trucking for the oil field. I did dry van. I did cold van. I did it all. I did it all. Let's just put it that way. I contracted through Walmart for a little while, where I drove on dedicated runs for Walmart. I contracted through Tractor Supply for a little bit, where I did dedicated runs for that. But I started doing the oil field stuff. I drove tanker trucks for the oil field. Because when you work for the oil field, I was making $200,000 a year. And in 2017, I found out I had some health conditions, and I had enough work credits to where my job said, do you want, at the time I was 41 years old, they're like, do you want to pull out your 401k and your pension and your profit sharing and go ahead and retire? And because of your health condition. So I'm like, yeah. So now I'm 49. I don't make $200,000 a year anymore. I get a monthly check through my job, through retirement, and that's how I fund all my live stream, guys. It's not $200,000 a year. I used to make about $10,000 to $15,000 a month. I don't make $10,000 to $15,000 a month anymore. I don't work off super chats. I didn't start a channel to get super chats. I started it for fun. I don't care if I ever make a dime through YouTube. That's never been important to me. What's been important to me is I like playing slots. So I like you guys being part of it. And I like explaining the games because a lot of you West Coast and East Coast people aren't used to the Oklahoma slots where it's based off the bingo patterns. So I like being able to explain those kind of things to you guys. Yes, ma'am, I'm 49. I'm 49 years old. I actually have 8 kids, but 7 living. I actually lost a son in 2004. He was born and passed the same day he was born. He was stillborn. Anyway, it was just wasn't meant to be. And so that was 21 years ago. Oh, things happen. God has a plan for everybody. They just didn't want. I mean, he just thought that he didn't need to be here. Oh, I ain't doing that Bitcoin crap. Nope. I've heard too many stories about that. I'm not buying that, Justin. I'm sorry. She just said her age on here. She said she was. Did she not? She did just say she was 31. Oh no, no. Nicole said she was 31. Never mind. Soledad, we know you're not 84 years old. Yeah, that was Nicole. I scroll back up. I couldn't remember if it was you or her. You're not 84. I'm bullshit. Anyway, guys, I've been on live an hour and 25 minutes. Kale, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. The next time you see me live, I'll be at a casino. If I can ever figure out this green screen shit, I'll put a green screen behind me if I'm doing these home lives. The back behind me, you're seeing my kitchen. But I love you all. I appreciate you all. We're almost to 2K subs. Let's get me there. The next time you see me, I'll be live at the casino. And remember, Pop Pop Slots always says, you ain't winning if you ain't spinning, baby. I love each and every one of y'all. And y'all have a fantastic evening. And get some rest, guys.